Hey there, tech fans. Rick here again with another gadget that I think you're going to really like. It's the PowerConf S3 from our good friends over at Anker, and it's a really clever speakerphone that you can easily connect to your phone or your computer over Bluetooth or a USB-C connection for crystal clear audio on your next call, your next video stream, or even your next Skype session. Now, in the spirit of full disclosure, Anker did send me this unit for review, but they only did that after I contacted them because most of my days are jam-packed with conference calls, whether I'm talking to family and friends or I'm talking to a client, and I wasn't happy with the microphone quality in my laptop. So I started experimenting with external microphones, and they work okay, but you have to deal with cables, and you've got to find a place in the desk to put it, and they weren't really portable. So I was on the hunt for a speakerphone that I could use with my phone on my computer when I was doing my teleconferencing, and I've searched around for a couple of different models. And I've had a lot of questions, quite honestly, from viewers asking me, hey, I'm working from home. What are you using for a microphone? So I reached out to Anker and said, look, you make a lot of products. You make a bunch of speakerphones. I'd love to try some of those myself and then review them on the channel. So they said, sure, Rick, we'll be happy to send you a speakerphone. So they sent me the S3 and a couple others that I'm going to be testing on the channel. But again, it's not going to affect my opinion. I'm always honest about the products I review. But this S3 is a pretty amazing product in a lot of ways, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But before I do, I wanted to do an unboxing just to show you everything that's included with the kit. So when you pop open the box, you'll find the S3 nestled gently inside of this really nice case. So if you're taking it on the road, which I do, I use it in my car, I use it sometimes in coffee shops, you've got this nice little case to protect it. They also include a really nice USB-A to USB-C cable here, and this can be used for charging it. It's also great for using it on your computer if you're going to make a connection over USB-C. One other hidden feature in here is that it's actually a power bank. It's got a 6,700 milliampere hour battery, which powers this thing for a long time. But you can also connect the USB-A up to it and power a USB-C device off it as well, or charger device. Also included with the kit are some cautions about the unit. It's got a battery in it, so don't get it wet and don't throw it out in the garbage. Recycle it when you're done with it. A full instruction manual, which is really thick because they've got every language under the sun in there. So the English is right up front, and then everybody else has to flip to the back a little bit. And then one other thing that Anker includes with their products, which I think is really nice, is a little card that's folded in half. And on one side says happy, and the other side says not happy. So depending on your mood, when you open this up and start using it, you open up the side that you're feeling. I'm happy right now, so I'll open that up. And it's got a lot of information in there about how I can tell other people how happy I am about the product. Now, let's say I'm not happy with the product. I open up that side, and there's contact information of how I get a hold of Anker to say, I've got a question, I've got a problem, I'm not happy, and they're going to sort it out for you. And again, I know I'm making a big deal about a small pamphlet, but I think that's a very brave move on Anker's part because they really care about their customers, and they want you to be happy with the product, and if you're not, they want to try and make it right. A lot of companies that sell speakerphones like this want to sell it to you, and they never want to hear from you. So I like the fact that Anker is going to be there for you. And if you don't know who Anker is, I don't know how you could not know who Anker is, because they're one of the most famous brands out there for chargers and power banks and cables and speakerphones, web cameras. They've been around forever, and I've used a lot of their products over the years, and I think they're a rock solid company. So anyway, that's the unboxing. Now, what I'd like to do next is just talk basically about the features, and then I'll actually take a closer look at the unit and show you all the buttons, connections, and things you'll need to use when you're using the product. And then I'll come back at the end with some of the comparisons of this product versus others on the market. But out of the gate, what you're getting with the speakerphone is a portable, rechargeable speakerphone that'll last a full day almost on conference calls. I've charged it in the morning, went out, talked to people all day long on this conference lines using the speakerphone, and it works just great. The big difference between this and most of the other ones on the market is the intelligence inside the unit. So for starters, there are 6 microphones around the outside. Now, if you're at your desk, you're only going to be talking at one of those microphones, but if you get up from your desk and you want to walk around the room a little bit, it'll actually follow you around the room, so it knows where you're standing, and the microphones will follow you around the room. So you're always going to get crystal clear audio no matter where you are. If you duck down over here and you're at a desk, or you're walking around that desk. The other thing that's interesting is it's got really advanced DSP, which is digital signal processing, where there's artificial intelligence in there that's actually filtering out the background noise around you. So if you've got noise over here and noise over here, all that gets sort of knocked away, and that's in addition to its automatic noise reduction. So it's listening for the voice. It knows what frequencies the voices are typically in that bandwidth, and it's going to listen for that voice and bring that through and sort of diminish everything else. So it gives you a really nice presentation if you're talking to family and friends or a customer where they hear you, but they don't hear a lot of the other nonsense going on around you. It also has automatic noise reduction, which means if you're talking loud, it's going to sort of mute itself down a little bit. If you're talking low, it's going to bring the volume back up. So in a lot of ways, it's almost like having a personal assistant with a finger on a volume control on a monitor, turning it up and turning it down when I'm on those conference calls. And I've had several people over the last couple of weeks that I've been testing it tell me, Rick, what are you using there, man? Your voice, it's like you're standing right next to me when we're on this conference call, and I think that's great. The other thing that's really nice about it is that you're not dealing with a microphone in front of you, because if you're talking to somebody on a video conference, I don't know, a lot of people like those big boom arms that come out with a microphone on the front. They look like a disc jockey. I'm not a big fan of that, so I like to have things nice and neat in front of me. This can be in front of me, out of camera view, and still pick up my voice just perfectly fine, so it's pretty incredible. They also give you another application that works with it that you can actually use. It's called Anker Work, and it's an app that you can go in and actually fine-tune a lot of these features and functions inside the unit. So everything in there is really a clever product, and they've really done their best to build something that I think is well above most of the speakerphones that are on the market, because there's a lot of companies that make speakerphones like this, and they're not really putting the thought into them that Anker has with this particular product. So stay tuned. Next, I'm going to take a closer look at it, and then I'll come back and sort of give you some things you can use to compare this to other speakerphones on the market that you may be considering. Inside the box, you'll find the Anker PowerConf S3 speakerphone, as well as a really nice soft travel case that's made out of a foam material, and it's custom designed to hold the speakerphone securely and protect it when you're out and about, or if you drop it into your laptop bag. Anker also includes a heavy-duty charging cable. On the one end is a USB-A connection, on the other end is a USB-C. To charge the speakerphone, you simply plug the USB-A end into any USB wall charger or even an available port on your computer, and plug the USB-C end into the back of the speakerphone. You can also use this cable to charge an external device from the speakerphone by plugging the USB-A end into the power output port of the back of the speakerphone and the USB-C into your device. And I think it's great that they've included a heavy-duty cable that's nice and long. I know Anker's in the business of making cables, but a lot of companies that produce products like this include a really short, flimsy cable, and this one's really nice and long and very heavy-duty. It's going to last you a long time. Also included is a safety guide that explains how to use the unit and how to take care of it, and simple things like don't drop it in water, don't throw it out with the garbage because there's a battery inside, make sure you recycle it. They also include a full instruction manual that's really thick, and as I mentioned, it starts off in English, and then all the other languages are in there. No matter where you live in the world, there's going to be an explanation of how to use it. And I think they did a great job with the manual, especially with the diagrams, because they're nice and big and you can easily see what each of the buttons do and how to use the unit. I also have to commend Anker for including a printed manual. A lot of companies nowadays try to shortcut things by providing a link where you have to go to a website and download a PDF, and I like to have a physical manual when I'm buying a product. And then one of my favorite things too is this little card. I mentioned it before, but on one side it says happy and on the other side not happy. And pretend I'm happy. I just bought the unit and it's working really well. When I open that up, it gives me information on how I can tell my friends about it, how I can share it on my social media, all the things that I could do to promote this company. And if you find a product you like, it's a good idea to tell other people about it. But pretend for a second you weren't happy and you opened it up and you're really upset about something. You flip this open and lo and behold, there's information on how to get a hold of Anker. So there's 800 phone numbers. You can call them free of charge. There's an email you can send an email to, and there's a support link too to get a hold of people on chat. So this is a brave move, like I said, by Anker to include that. And that tells me the company really cares that you're happy as a consumer with the product you've bought from them. The PowerConf S3 is about 5 inches wide by 5 inches deep, and it has really nice smooth rounded corners here, which helps a lot when you're trying to slip this into a really tight side pocket on your laptop bag and take it with you for the day. On the top of the speakerphone, you'll find it's covered mostly with this cloth material. It gives it sort of a high-end speaker look, and I think they've done a great job at the accents too. I love the silver accents on the side and the silver ring around the top. There's the Anker logo on the front. Now there are 5 buttons in the center that control pretty much every function of what the speakerphone can do. Volume down, volume up. That's a multi-function button where you can start and stop songs and do other things with it. This is the phone connect button to actually pick up a call or drop a call. And in the center is a mute button. These are all soft touch controls, so as soon as you tap them, they'll activate. And this lights up once you power up the unit. Now I'd mentioned that there are 6 microphones included with this, and they're around the outside ring, 1, 2, and 3. 4, 5, and 6. And what's nice about those microphones is when you turn this on and connect to a conference call, wherever you happen to be standing, that microphone is active. So if I'm talking over here now, this microphone will be live. But if I start to wander around the table or around the room, the unit's smart enough to follow me with the microphone that's closest to me. So as I wander this direction, it'll turn this microphone on. If I continue, it'll turn that microphone on. So it's always constantly paying attention to where I'm standing and turning on that microphone. And if you have multiple people around a table, it'll actually turn on the microphones needed to capture the audio from those people. On the front of the unit, you'll find two buttons. That's a power button to turn the unit on, and that's a Bluetooth button that's used for syncing the unit to an external device. So if it's the first time you're connecting to it, tap that button, it'll go into pairing mode. You can go to your device and actually pair up with it, and you'll be set from there on. On the back of the unit are 3 ports, a USB-A port, that's used for connecting an external device to actually charge it. The unit has a 6700 milliamp hour battery in it, and you can use that to charge an external device while you're using the unit. So in the afternoon, if I've been using it for a couple of hours, my phone might need a charge, I can connect a USB-A cable to here to my phone on the other end and actually charge my phone while I'm using the unit. In the center is an auxiliary out port, and that's for audio. That's a 3.5 millimeter audio port. You can connect the cable from here to a stereo system or a powered speaker and actually listen to the audio from this on that external speaker. I use the internal speakers probably 95% of the times I use this, but it's nice that I can actually externally amplify that with another system. To the right of that is a USB-C power port, and that's used for charging the unit. You use the included cable, you'll plug the USB-C connection in here. The other end, the USB-A, can plug into any standard wall charger or a computer or even a battery bank if you want to charge it from there. On the bottom of the unit, you've got a nice rubber ring, and that's kind of nice because when you set it down and you start tapping those buttons on the top, you don't want it to dance across the table away from you, so that'll keep it right where you put it. All in all, I think they've done a great job with this. It's small enough to bring with you everywhere, but provides tremendously good audio when you're on a conference call. I hope that closer look was helpful, and now I'll show you just how easy it is to connect over Bluetooth between your phone and the PowerConf S3. I'll show you a few audio samples so you can get a feel for how good the audio quality really is on this, and then I'll list a few things that really separate the Anker product from a lot of the other speakerphones that are on the market, because the company has really thought through what kind of technology would benefit you using a speakerphone like this. All right, so let's get started. To turn the unit on, you'll hold the power button here for a couple of seconds, and you'll see the light come on the top. Once you see the light come on, then it's in the power up mode. You'll hear that little tone coming up. And then on the front, you'll see a blue light blinking right there. That means the unit right now is looking for a partner over Bluetooth. So on your phone, you'll simply go to the settings. I'm using an iPhone here. But if you go to the settings page and then move over to Bluetooth, you'll actually see it show up on your Bluetooth page. Give it a second here for it to actually sync up. And it comes up with a message saying, hey, I'd like to pair with your phone. Is that okay? Sure. I'd love to have you pair. There you go. And it's just that simple. So now I'm actually paired to the unit. So let me give you a couple of examples of recordings on here. I've got an application where I can actually record my voice, and I'll hit record. And now you can see that it's on, and if you look closely, the blue lights are on the top, which means the microphones are facing me here. Now, one cool thing about this is that the microphones are going to find you. So right now, this is the microphone, but I'll be quiet for a second and snap my fingers. Watch what happens with the ring on the front. It's chasing my finger. Now watch this. It's trying to find my finger. So it's actually moving around the outside of the ring, depending on where it hears the audio, and it's muting the other microphones. Now, if there were two people talking, it would capture both of those, but still have the other 4 microphones completely silent. Okay, I'm still recording here, so let me play that back for you. So here's the audio quality. And now you can see that it's on, and if you look closely, the blue lights are on the top. That's me. The microphones are facing me here. Now, one cool thing about this is that let me stop that. All right, so that's me talking over the phone. Boy, I sound kind of goofy there. All right, now let me play some music for you. I've got a royalty-free track here, so I'm not going to get in trouble. How about that bass? All right, so you're not going to use this. Let me stop that. You're not going to use this to listen to music normally, but it's nice to know if it's on your desk and you're playing music, you've got a speaker right there that's connected over Bluetooth. Now again, what Anker's done with this product is really thought through the things you're going to need in a speakerphone. And they've designed it to be really accommodating for all of the features you're going to care about. So the first one, and probably the biggest, is the audio quality. They've got a DSP, which is the digital signal processor built into it, that understands human speech. So it's going to listen for those frequencies in the bandwidth of where we speak normally, and it's going to accentuate those and diminish everything else. So it's going to pick out your voice among all the noise around you, and that's super important because a lot of the other speakerphones I tested picked up your voice just fine, but if somebody's crackling papers around you, it's picking that up as well, and it's hard to hear you on the phone. So it's smart enough to know the difference between you talking and a bunch of other noise in the background. I love the fact that it's got automatic noise adjustment and reduction. So what's happening is the further I get away from it, it'll actually crank up the volume so my voice stays relatively the same. And if I get really close to it, it brings down the volume. So you're not having this big gap between soft and loud and, hey, I can't hear you, what's going on? The thing that's really brilliant about it is the fact that it's got sort of spatial awareness of where the people are that are talking, because if all the microphones are on at the same time and I'm talking here and there's noise going on over here, all that noise is being picked up. But what Anker did was build in sort of the ability to know where I'm talking and only turn on that microphone, so the rest of the microphones are not going to pick up background noise. And the cooler thing is, if you're in a room with a lot of people around a table, as someone starts talking, the mics will chase them around the table to make sure they're paying attention to him or her or me, whoever's talking at that moment. So all those things being equal really make this, from a technology perspective, way ahead of a lot of speakerphones out there. The other thing that's cool about it is you can play with it a long time. So if you're playing music on it or you're talking on your phone, you can get a full day out of it. 6,700 milliampere hour battery. And I love the fact that I can connect up my phone to it and actually charge my phone when I'm using the unit. Because if I'm out for the day and I'm using it in my car, I'm using it when I'm out with friends, it's nice to know I can charge things off the other side of it. So all things being equal, I think the price is really reasonable. Anker's done a wonderful job with this product, and it looks really nice. It's a really high-end looking unit. So I hope you found this video helpful. I love talking about technology like this, so I'll be doing a few more reviews. Anker sent me another one that's a little higher end model. They've sent me a webcam to review as well, so I'll be talking about that on the channel, and probably a bunch of other products, because I really like this company a lot. I own a lot of their products, and I think they're really in touch with what consumers want in this space, especially around these speakerphones and all the other products they make. So thanks again for watching, and until next time, stay nerdy.